A teacher from Wharton was recently tweeting about her students and how privileged she could tell that they were due to the fact that they thought that the average American makes about six figures a year. That's what these people were thinking, was that there was a average yearly income of six figures. One person thinking that the average yearly income was $800,000 for a household. $800,000. That's what the year. That's almost $1 million. And he thinks that everybody in America, that's average for everybody in America to make. How deluded do you have to be for this to be the case? So we're going to take a look at this article here. A student from Trump's family's alma mater. Of course, it's Trump's family's alma mater. The average American makes $800K per year. Look at these fucking rejects right here. Oh God. Okay. The University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business, attended by former President Donald Trump and his children Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump Jr., is showing that there might be a major disconnect between the working class and what corporate America makes. Nina Strominger, professor of legal studies and business ethics at Wharton, shared an eye-opening tweet on Wednesday that gave the results of a question posed to her students. What do they think the average American worker makes per year? Are you ready for their answers? It seems shocking that 25% of them thought it was over six figures, according to Strominger's tweet. What is particularly staggering is though one of them thought it was $800K for an average salary, the professor added. Really not sure what to make of this. The real number is $45K. There is a huge difference between making $45,000 per year and jumping into $100,000 range or more. And how were so many of her students that off base at one of the country's most prestigious business schools? So these people who are supposed to be professional business people, who know professionally what the economy is supposed to be and what business is supposed to be, think that people in America on average make over six figures a year. I hope when they become like owners of daddy's companies and stuff that they actually reflect that in the pay for their employees. I highly doubt it though. I do highly doubt it. Strominger shares her thoughts on how this is a US-wide issue and not specific to Wharton, writing, "A lot of people want to conclude that this says something special about Wharton students. I'm not sure it does. People are notoriously bad at making this kind of estimate, thinking the gap between rich and poor is smaller than it is. But we have to look at the top undergrad feeder schools to get into Wharton too. And we are all familiar with the names. University of Pennsylvania, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Georgetown. And the median starting salary for a Wharton grad going into the tech industry is $140,000 per poets and quants. So you can see how their opinions are formed. So $140,000 per year is what they get into the tech industry in the opening of the tech industry. So that is ridiculous because that's about 2/3 more than an average person makes in salary. Twitter also had a few thoughts on this topic, with one social media user talking about generational privilege that begins in high school or earlier. The path to Wharton is often private prep school to good public Ivy, and on to Wharton, if not a Wharton undergrad, they wrote. Another chimed in, the fact that elite B school students are in this misinformed about their world is mind-boggling. But the real question in all of this was summed up by one account asking, what is the median income of the families of Wharton students? The answer, according to the New York Times, is $195,500. The fact that students of this type of privileged backgrounds seem more or less blind to the struggles of American working class does not bode well for who's occupying powerful positions in our society, such as President of the United States. We hope that professors like Strungmeyer will make this more of a focus in the classroom of elite business schools going forward. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Uh, they need to know. They need to know like what the gap is in this country for wages. They need to know that there are people who are trying to survive on $45,000 a year and less. You know, that's just average. So there are people who make less, but average is $45,000 a year, which is well below what the standard cost of living is in any state, let alone, you know, some of your more expensive states. So yeah, it's something that we have to look into, definitely, and something that needs to be educated to people going into these schools. No wonder that the rich in this country are so detached from reality when it comes to the economics of this country.